Hello everyone, hi, it's me. What have I done? Good start. Oh, it's because, there we go, notepad's open. There we go. Fucking hell, I haven't done this in ages. Right, where are we at? Fixed it. Okay, I'm a genius. Oh, thanks for the sub, Bard. That's super kind of you. I'll have to leave notepad open more often. How is everyone? What the fuck is up with this? You can tell I haven't streamed for a while because I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. Jeez. Right, okay. Hi, it's Giffyglyph. Welcome to Social Encounter, a little D&D stream where I sometimes talk about D&D. Boom. There we go. Spiel done. Right. It's Sunday. Stuff's going on. I've got to figure out a ton of stuff, so we'll do a catch-up of whatever's been happening. And then where I'm going to be going next month, because February's over already, and how the fuck did that happen? Right, so let's backtrack. So this week I have mostly been working on Foundry. But before that, I managed to get Dark Dungeons 4.0 released. Yes, there we go. Let's just double check that and do a bit of a show off, because why not? God fucking hell, what is up with this hair now? I have no control over it whatsoever. Like, look at this. Oh, God. Right. Sorry, hang on. I'm just going to do a bit of a preen just before I kickstart everything off. Okay, yeah, there we go. Better. Right. So Dark Dungeons 4.0 is out and done and released and ready for people to browse and peruse and whatever else the words are. Main feature for that was Dread, which is now done and dusted. Hang on, where are we at? Where are we at? Desktop. Ooh, wrong button. Yeah, okay, so Dread, as I've kind of spoken about a bit on stream before, this sort of like set of rules to help you, you know, be the big bad of an area, right? Like be an evil god or a sinister force, malevolent force, that's the word I kind of go for, right? So just this kind of grab bag of effects and advice, right, on how to kind of do that in your games. Because, you know, you want to run a darker dungeon, sometimes you might want to act like the thing that's making the dungeon darker. Yeah, something like that. So that was the big thing for Darker Dungeons 4. Which is like, ooh. Oh, hey Magic, how's it going? Hey Jota. Good to see you both. So Dark Dungeons 4.0 was like the big, you know, PDF kind of release. So I'm trying to do one PDF release a month, just to kind of keep the ball rolling, right? So next is probably going to be up for interpretation. I don't know, there could be... So I know I said I wasn't going to do class compendium work. Some tidy ups on there that I kind of want to do, but Monster Maker work might be the next thing. There's a few kind of chapters or tweaks I need to make to the Monster Maker PDF, so that's probably going to be the next thing that I pay attention to. Outside of the current thing that I'm paying a lot of attention to, right, which is Foundry. And this is kind of like the big thing that's going to be distracting me for a significant chunk of this month, I think. And we're going to talk a little bit about what I've been doing with that this month, because this has kind of been my obsession for the week. So where are we at? Foundry preview looked so great. Yeah, so I'm just going to show that off now because I can, and because I've got some new bits to show off with it. So for those of you who aren't aware, I built a character sheet for Roll20 because a lot of people play online, right? I tend to, I only exclusively play in real life, right? I don't really enjoy playing online, but I have to write the tools to let people play them online. So Roll20 got a character sheet, and Foundry is like the new hotness, right? It's like the cool kind of virtual tabletop. And I've been investigating it, and it's pretty fucking good. Speaking from a developer point of view, it's really fucking good. It's really good. Because you can twist it to do kind of anything. So that's kind of what I've been doing. So for those of you who are aware, Quick Quest was a sort of rule set that I finished probably about a year ago, actually, just at the start of lockdown. Just like D&D, bare bones, about as light as you could kind of get with a rule set, right? Because I wanted something that was very fast, very easy to play, very flexible for the kind of games I sometimes want to play with players. So I thought that would, well, Lex kind of pointed out that would be a really useful test bed for Foundry development because, you know, it's a very small, light system. I can use that as an opportunity to explore the tool base and the tool set. So that's what I've been doing. So let's just show some of that off. So Foundry's really interesting. Again, speaking purely as a developer because I haven't run anything in this. So what I've been doing is just exploring like how easy it is to kind of create character sheets and other fun stuff, right? So kind of there now. So this is like the Quick Quest character sheets with an inventory system, which is just like really sweet. This all kind of like came out of pretty much out of the box. I'm using the 5e tool, the existing 5th edition Foundry character sheet as a reference point because it's really nice. So you just got like easy drag and drop stuff. I didn't have to do anything to kind of support that functionality, which was really nice because that was a huge pain to do in Roll20. But the main thing as well is you can customize so much stuff for your system and build stuff in really interesting ways. And this is gonna like no one's gonna really care about this except for me. But so while I'm kind of working on the Quick Quest sheet, I wanted to explore like, oh, okay, cool. So now we can kind of like create item cards. Ooh, that's very fun because I love item cards. So for Quick Quest, we now have like, what's the word? Rarities on items. Just for me to kind of like explore it, right? So I just copied the Warcraft kind of character sets here, but it's like, oh cool, so now I can have like commons, uncommons, rares, blah blah blah. The colors can now change if I just like update the card, right? There you go. Oh, it's now an uncommon one, blah blah blah. I just want to make it epic. There you go. Boom. Right, so these are all like really fun little features for Foundry that I'm really excited to kind of explore. I think for Quick Quest, the first version, there's like I need to get rolling properly working because I haven't done that yet. You know, I can click on these, but it does nothing. And I need the ability to add modifiers onto items, right? So that if you equip them, then they update your attributes or your archetypes or your resolve or whatever. So then we have like a proper kind of foundational system. Sorry, I'm way behind on chat. Let's have a catch up. Monster Maker would be good. Getting that compatible with Foundry, yes. So we'll kind of talk a little bit about this in about now, because now I have a bit of experience with Foundry development. There's a few what's the word? There's a few directions that Darker Dungeons could go in. With regards to Foundry, so we'll kind of talk a little bit about those and sort of explore some options. But yeah, Monster Maker is like a very big thing that we could kind of do a lot with in Foundry. It's kind of fun. Getting ever so closer to Giffyglyph realizing. I mean, yeah. This is not. This is the true. This is the true. Hey Lex, how's it going? Just finished 2 DD games on Sunday and Saturday. I love Foundry. Yeah, I'm really excited by it. Roll20 was a massive pain to work with and do development for. This is the real shit. That's incredible looking. Oh, thanks, Magic. Yeah, I kind of I spend way too long obsessing about stuff. But like visually, you can just do so much with these character sheets. It's very exciting to me as someone who gets very obsessed about the visuals. You know. Hey, Necrotic, how's it going? This looks so cool. I love item and spell cards. Yeah, I know, right? So it's like, just like having coloured. It's like, this is the. I don't need to do anything else now, right? I've got my coloured cards. That's it. What else do you need? Hey, Archdemon. Oh, thanks. Yes, Giffy's luscious locks. They're getting just. I don't know what to do with them anymore. You also need to make sure there's enough items that use different skills, so not just weapons, also paintbrushes, maps. Oh yeah, so the intent for this is like just to let you choose what modifiers an item would give when equipped, right? So you could equip whatever you want, right? It just depends on how you configure the item. It's not going to be as granular as 5e. Or D&D in general, right? I'm not going to have like specific items for armor or weapons or whatever. We're just going to have a bit of a flexible system that you can just kind of stack modifiers on pretty easily. But yeah, it's good. I'm into this. Since the only thing holding Dark Dungeons to 5 years spells, how would you go about spells if given the inclination? Would you change how they worked at all? Ooh, interesting. Do you mean change how magic works in 5e, or are you talking like specific kind of spells? Legend of the Fire Rings on Foundry has a cool thing where rolling for stuff that lets you choose a combination of stat and skill. Yeah, so that's the intent. Basically, you're going to click this, or you'll click an attribute or an archetype, and it will do a pop-up, and you'll choose what attribute with which archetype you're rolling, and if it has advantage or disadvantage. So the rolling system should be pretty straightforward. Again, their 5e character sheet has a really good base example for that. So. As far as the tech support, it's all in there. I'm really impressed so far. I love the item IDs in the corner. I'm not saying that's exactly why I did it, but that's exactly why I did it. I've spent a lot of time looking at Magic the Gathering. Like literally the last 2 days, I've been playing around with card layouts because I got sucked into a huge hole. But yeah, it's like, Hope you assess over the visuals of the DD sheet, if that's a thing we may get someday. Currently, MM isn't even something supported by Roll20. Yeah, so, hang on, let's queue this up. So, Quick Quest is, I was hoping to kind of get it finished by this weekend, but yeah, obviously it's a Giphy project, right? So it's running on a little bit over schedule. But the core of it is kind of in place, so I'm now in the implementation stage. Hopefully this is going to be done within the week, or at least previewable for people to like download and start playtesting with. Obviously there's going to be bugs and whatever, but work in progress. Yeah, exactly. Soon, trademark. That's a Giphy guarantee. But yeah, it's really good. It's really sweet. I'm very excited by this, especially for Quick Quest, because I was kind of as I was building it, like there's so many stuff, like there's so much that I want to add into this. I could just so easily build Quick Quest content now, like how the monsters would work and a selection of items, and it's really exciting. But anyway, let me fucking pause that. So, yep, Quick Quest modules. So basically, this is gonna Quick Quest is gonna come out as it's like a downloadable system. So hang on, let me go back here. So you kind of have game systems, right? Quick Quest is going to be a system that you can download and just run games of. So that's going to have, all the necessary baseline content that you'll need to run stuff. And then over time, we'll kind of like add it and extend it and, kind of figure it out. Could you add a power tag for this sheet? Power tag? For spells and such. Interesting. Okay, hang on. Let me just quickly load it up. Again. Yeah, so one of the things that I'm going to be adding now, because I can, is a specific kind of like perks and effects tab. So one of the great things, now I can kind of like replicate it with like items in a way. So it would be like perk strength. So basically, this is just a very rough preview of what the workflow would be. So it would be, you could have perks kind of like D&D feats. This would be like, hey, +1 to strength, blah, 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 blah. And then, you could just drag this onto your character and it would show the list of perks or temporary effects associated to that character. And a perk could be anything, right? It could have a description of like extra strength or the ability to cast a spell or the ability to cast this particular spell. There's like, hopefully, as it's working in my head anyway, it should be a fairly flexible system that should plug in pretty neatly to the modifiers architecture that I'm kind of playing around with. Anyway, getting a bit high level, but yeah, sorry, excited. It's good stuff. So where are we at? 5e and Darker Dungeons. Okay, there we go. So Quick Quest version 1, that's going to be the initial project, and then we're going to be looking at thanks for the sub, Naked Seaplane. Sorry, Naked Seaplane Dave. We're going to differentiate you from all the other Naked Seaplanes. So this is the Foundry 5e character sheet. Now this is kind of where it's going to be interesting because, like I say, I don't really play games online, so a lot of this is kind of me. Just me obsessing about layout and stuff. But I have to say, I don't... this is the vehicle one. Oh, right, yeah, sorry, hang on. Yeah, create actor, play a character, new car. Yeah, there we go. So, so there's kind of like a couple of... I'm going to have to, I think, do some polls, right? Because okay, let me tab this because I got a lot. We're gonna like queue up a lot of thoughts here. Dark Dungeons in Foundry options. So there's like 1, create it as a new system dependent on 5e. So create a generic character sheet with all content plugged in. Create a generic character sheet with modules. Modules. I'm sorry, just while I'm typing this out. Create modules that plug into the default sheet. So as I'm kind of looking at it, and again, I don't know how much of this is just like boring technical stuff for people, but what are people kind of interested in at the moment with regards to Darker Dungeons? Are you looking for something that is going to plug into an existing character sheet that you have? Do you like the look of the paper Darker Dungeon sheet or the Roll20 one, and you kind of want to emulate that look in your games. There's a few directions here, so eventually I'm going to have to decide on one of them. So if you have a particular preference, the earlier I know about this, then kind of like the better. But yeah, there's a big chunk. Hey Skolas, how's it going? I don't know anyone that uses that default. I certainly don't. Yeah, I think there's a lot like Tidy 5e is one that's been I've heard about as well. Actually, hang on. Let's go back to setup. Modules. Actually, fuck it. Let me just load it up again. 3 works best. These are extremely important things. It's the difference between porting over ridiculous amounts of content. How do you mean, Magic? Might be best to hold a poll. Yeah, so I mean, eventually, like, I mean, I'll do this kind of official. This is while I'm on stream. I might as well just kind of like talk about what's in my head, right? While I've been kind of playing around with stuff. Because then the sort of like the question here really is like, do I benefit from creating generic modules that plug into the existing 5e system, or do I branch and create? Okay, you want to run a Darker Dungeons game, and then you can plug modules into that kind of system, if you know what I mean. As people use their 5e systems, yeah. Interesting. Making it a system could have... No, so it's slightly... Actually, so this might be where it's kind of... unless I'm incorrect, like Foundry systems can be dependent on others. So sorry, I probably should have led with this. So... there is an option for, like, with Darker Dungeons, you could say, hey, it's its own system, but it's dependent on the 5e one. So it kind of stacks on top of it, if you know what I mean. So it's not like we're like, okay, it's Darker Dungeons and we have to, like, recreate all the content. It's like, no, it sits on top, right? But you are explicitly saying, I am running a Darker Dungeons game, if you know what I mean. So I'm kind of wondering if that might be the best system for, like, development, because I'm kind of setting the expectation, right? If I kind of create generic modules, it could be quite easy for those to break, or for people to try and make them compatible, like try and make them, what's the word? Try and fudge them into other systems that I'm not really... expecting them to be fit with. What am I trying to say? And let me catch up on chat while I'm braining. You're making a system that has modules, but a lot of work for you, maybe. That's interesting. In Foundry terms, it would be a module. No, so there would be. So hang on, let's. I'm really good at explaining things. Have I mentioned that before? So, Foundry has systems and modules. Modules plug into systems. What is it? So systems define architecture. Modules plug into systems. Does that mean extend systems? Yep. Yes. 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 That's right. So, pros of making DD a system that extends 5e whilst made in 5e would need to be remade in a DD system. Interesting. Because this is the problem, like, going down the module route, I really don't think Darker Dungeons would be one module. If we kind of look at the content, almost everything is a separate module, right? It's like, hey, active initiative, that's kind of its own module. Yeah, diseases, that's a module. Stress and afflictions, these are all kind of like Darker Dungeons modules, right? So you could kind of like drag and drop those in any kind of combination. But another thing to kind of think about in the longer term is, hey, Monster Maker Monsters, that's kind of like a module, right? So that's kind of where my initial developer concern starts to come in, right? Because each of those modules is its own kind of content and rule set and whatever, and it has to plug into some kind of baseline module. So it's possible that all of these modules end up depending on one particular module, which would be like, hey, the DD character sheet, and then we have to like plug in, okay, DD monsters kind of plug into this. Actually, no, DD monsters might be a separate thing. Interesting. So particularly treated as a game based on the 5e OGL. Yeah, that as far as, again, my understanding of Foundry, light as it is so far, that would kind of, it would basically be, if we go back to setup, you'd kind of see it here, right? It would be like Darker Dungeons, but you would need, it would refer to the, it would be based on top of the DD 5e 5th edition system. So you'd need to have this. You'd need to have this system installed first before you could like run Darker Dungeons. If I went down that route, that kind of thing. I feel a developer's opinion would be more relevant. You have one system, as many modules as you need. Yeah, so I think that's kind of what I'm umming and ahhing about at the moment. Developer's opinion. No, so I think at this point it's not really what's the words? It's not a developer opinion, it's more about what's the word? Project structure. And that's kind of unique to project development. To the project anyway, as I'm kind of figuring it out. Separate the books into modules. You're going to wait, hang on. How can I be going too granular if you're advising me to separate the books into modules? That's about as granular as you can get, right? Can you not disable stress or other pieces in the module settings tab? You can do, but then the problem is like a monolithic module is probs bad in the long run. So this is kind of why I'm, yeah, obviously, like, you have to think about these things when you start a very big project like this, because especially with something like Darker Dungeons, there's a lot of, like, granular content to kind of consider. So I'm hesitant to make, okay, well, here's, like, the big Darker Dungeons module, because, you know, so many people play that game in so many different ways. So rather than kind of like building up one big module, we could have, you know, we could kind of like divide it into discrete things that all just require the Darker Dungeons character sheet. Hang on, actually, let's just bring that up. Sorry, I realize this is the most exciting stream for people. Roll20 character sheets. So yeah, so here we go. So at the moment, this is the Roll20 kind of character sheet, right? Which has just all of the basic stuff. This kind of has everything plugged in, but then we have all of these options to kind of revert it basically to the default 5e one with some variations, right? So my current thinking or direction that I'm kind of considering is, okay, we kind of do this character sheet as a baseline for, like, if you want to do any Darker Dungeons content, then you kind of need this character sheet, because then the modules that you would download, you know, say you want to put stress in your game, you download the stress module, and then boom, that adds in like the stress and afflictions kind of page, right? So that, I think, is probably... Hey Kenku, how's it going? Would you separate it into chapters, maybe? Yeah, so it's basically, you know, you could divide, like, each module would be, you know, chapter dependent, basically, right? You know, diseases, that's a whole module in itself, right? Stress, wear and tear, like notches. See, it's things like notches where stuff starts to become very complicated, because because notches plug into items. But items I might not necessarily be able to have like full control over. Those options in Roll20 was the greatest thing. Yeah, it seemed like, I mean, in Roll20 it was kind of, it was the only way we could really do that, right? Because the Roll20 stuff isn't that, what's the word, smart. We just have like a very straightforward kind of just hide the buttons, basically. So yeah, so maybe I don't need to rebuild the character sheet. Maybe I can just like not do that. Maybe I don't have to be Giffy about it all the time, right? Maybe this character sheet is fine as it is, and then I don't have to worry about it. But I know I will. I'm just going to want to like customize the look of it, because the look of it is so important to me. I think it's important the character sheet is a 5e module, which other parts are dependent on. Because that makes it easier to convert attributes. Yeah. Down 1 MN, they can add the... Yeah, see, initially that was kind of like why I was like, okay, well, so this, like, maybe Darker Dungeons should start, like, should be a system, because then we have that explicit, like, okay, you're opting into a Darker Dungeons game, and you can download the modules or, like, whatever as you kind of want them, rather than just making everything modular. But, you know, you're right about, like, having to transform your game world. That could be a thing for a lot of people, rather than them just being like, oh, okay, we'll just add in the Darker Dungeons character sheet and then boom, right? Yeah, that might be a direction. Plus you have dark sheet to look at. Yeah, so I've had a look at dark sheet. Dark sheet's interesting, or like they do a very good job of kind of plugging in content to the existing character sheet, which is nice. But it's in a very different direction to what I would kind of think of, right? If I'm looking to kind of maybe, remake the character sheet in my own inimicable, long-winded way, then it'll need to be a kind of fresh start, I think. The look matters. I think making the sheet is important because Foundry is always being updated. I think you will be upset if the updates keep breaking your add-ons. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm having this very long-winded kind of chat, because when you're starting like a very big project like this, you have to just do some thought about how you're going to kickstart the whole thing off, because stuff gets tangled very quickly. Oh, hey, DJ. Is there a changelog for DD 4.0? I don't think the Reddit post... Oh, God, you're right. I haven't... I'm really good at remembering to post that I've done something new. Whoops. There is... yeah, you're right. I haven't done a Reddit post for this at all, which is ridiculous. Reddit should be a big place for me to, announce that I've done some new work, but I keep forgetting to do that. On the Twitter post, there was a brief changelog. It was very brief, actually. Here we go. Let me just. Wait, what am I doing? I can just fucking zoom in. Yeah, here you go. Boom, boom, boom. There's the changelog. 4.0 was a pretty trim, I guess, update. The main thing was just trials and a new character sheet. So basically, this was it, really. Hope that helps. I'll do a proper Reddit post tomorrow, I think. Because I need to do that, and I need to remind people that it exists. Oops. Yeah, sorry, hope that helps, DJ. Or did you? Sorry, where was that? Right, yes. Dotshit code-wise, yes. Yeah, so... I mean, is this kind of like the look that people are wanting from the Darker Dungeons sheet? Because I think that there's going to be some translation of it. I mean, as I've been working on the Quick Quest character sheet, one of the things that I do enjoy is not having to worry about bordered images or any of that kind of stuff. None of this stuff has images, right? This is all just fancy divs and whatever. Yeah, there's going to be some fiddling around, I think. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, so that would kind of lead me to think then. Hang on, actually. Hey, perfect. So what do we got? We've got TD Foundry plans. Just like one basic character sheet as core module. So what are kind of like super important modules for this? Even then, is it like right for me to be tying people to a character sheet? Oh, fuck. I love thinking about these things. Fuck it. Right, okay, no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Because there are some basic things to think about, right? What modules are core for a character sheet? Farmer conditions, stress, magical burnout, inventory, slots. Slots and bulk. So this one could be interesting because with Foundry lets you do, lets you include compendium content, right? So that would mean if like inventory slots and bulk work or like are done as a module, then as part of that module, we can include all of the SRD items with the weights automatically or like updated to use the bulk ratings, right? So you don't have to calculate them and change them like you do with the Roll20 ones, right? We could just have all of that included in the module as like, hey, okay, boom, now it does this. Dark sheet has that done. Ah, okay, perfect. Okay, that might be useful. Interesting. Actually, so what else do we kind of have? We have active initiative. So that's a thing that I don't know if I need to do because there's already like a popcorn module already, I think, right? It's active defense. That's easy to do as a module. I would imagine as a module. Go look at tidy sheets. Okay, alright, hang on. Tidy sheets, Foundry. Let's get you sorted. Tidy sheets. Let's install you, shall we? Install some module. Okay, tidy sheet, so that should work in the 5e one, right? Popcorn is missing interrupts. Interesting. Manage modules, tidy sheets. I have to say, I like the module management system in Foundry is really fucking good. I love it. Okay, so this is tidy sheet, right? So that's tidy sheet versus old sheets. I think I should be able to like choose which. Yeah, here we go. This is a feature I do fucking love, actually. Being able to like choose what character sheet you want, like, oh, it's fucking genius. This is like a really good kind of toolkit. Senses, languages. Journal, blah blah blah. Yeah, situation bonus. Interesting. Conditions. Hey Pokemon, thanks for joining. Very happy with this over the default sheet. Tidy sheet style done in GG. Exhaustion, that's really nice. Inspiration. Take a rest. Don't like how features are on another tab. How do you mean? Interesting. So this is something I think, this is what I'm going to have to reconcile, right? Is tidy sheet is nice, partly because it's very, what's the word? Slim and compact. The Giphy style, right, is, I would say, traditionally not slim and not compact. So there's going to have to be like some reconciling there, I think, of trying to like make something that's a serviceable alternative to the tidy sheet. Burnout automation sounds good. I think you can favorite it. Favorites, nice. Features and actions need to be on the front page. See, this I'm not entirely sure of, because one of the big problems you kind of have with so if we look here, features being on a separate page for Darker Dungeons, right, is almost essential, because like characters get so many features, right? You just can't you can't kind of fit that. I find a lot of the time as well, features tend to be something that players just kind of remember, whereas you kind of, or at least in the Dark Dungeon sheet, right, you have this page where it's like, okay, these are the numbers that I need to update, and this is kind of static content that I might refer to, but rarely tweak and play around with. Active features should be on the main. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's probably what I was trying to say. Like this is the active page, right? And these are circumstantial pages. Sounds like a hard project to do. It's a lot. Yeah, it's always a lot more complicated than it looks, right? Or rather, it's very easy to do it. What's the word? You can do a project like this fast, but wrong in the long run. That makes sense? Probably does. Probably doesn't. Because that was a problem that I had when I did the first Roll20 character sheet. You know, I did something that was fast and I could kind of learn the Roll20 architecture, but in the end, I had to kind of redo it all just to make it work properly, and it cost me a lot of time. And for something like this, when we're talking about an extendable system, much like with Darker Dungeons itself, its modularity is a blessing and a curse, because I can't really just push one way of doing stuff in its entirety. Every bit of module ideally has to work with every other kind of game that everyone else is playing with 5e, right? So it's thinking about all of those kind of potential crossovers and bleeds. Require a voice chat later to help hash things out. It's probably I think it's at the moment, like I say, I'm just kind of talking off my head at the moment while I'm still figuring stuff out. I think once I've got Quick Quest done, then yeah, we'll probably have a chat then where I can get some actual fucking insight off players. What are the options for integrating D&D Beyond with Foundry? My game is in person, but also making some Dark Dungeon systems would be cool. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't really use D&D Beyond myself, so I don't really know about that, I'm afraid. Features, class levels. Interesting. Ooh. Wait, how do I edit this? Oh, okay, there we go. I have to right click on it. Ooh, okay, this right click stuff definitely. Okay. Oh my god, that's so nice. That's very nice. I didn't know you could right click on character sheets. Oh my god. Okay, that's opened up like some possibilities for Quick Quest. Drops character, fills in. Ah, okay, cool. Hang on, let's just have a look at that, shall we? Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. I guess Tidy is going to have to be the one I base this off of then. That's a very nice feature. So, okay, alright, so then here's the question, right? What would the Darker Dungeon character sheet do that Tidy doesn't? Does that make sense? If we ignore all of the ancillary modules for now, like, are we talking, like, are people looking for, hey, we want something that's like Tidy, but just prettier, and then have the module stack on top of that? Or, you know, do I just take the Tidy sheet and then plug all the stuff directly into that? Someone told Giffy about plutonium. Plutonium? What is plutonium? Plugging everything into tidies, and tidies a dependency. Oh, hey Mimic, how's it going? Yeah, because if we just like plug stuff in, I mean, oh, but then I do like to control the look of stuff. I wonder. College has meant I can't attend streams so much lately. Oh, no worries, Mimic. I mean, I've been distracted kind of catching up on my backlog anyway, so I haven't really been streaming much this month apart from the Sundays. Plutonium is a module to import things from 5e tools. Ah, right, okay. Some character mounts a bit better. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'd kind of like to, like, I mean, someone must have done random character generation for Foundry. That'd be kind of nice as a DD module. Alright, tidy sheet. Let's have a look at you as a base. Facts, biography, journal. I wonder. I mean, Tiny Sheet might just... I mean, if we're going down the route of, like, Tiny Sheet, then to be honest... I mean, I'd imagine that stuff that works with the default sheet would kind of work with Tiny anyway. It's tricky. Finishing off my artificer class, halfway through the subclasses at the moment. Oh, sweet! Yeah, no, I've really enjoyed kind of like looking at the artificer development. That's the one with the signatures, right? Remaking Biomancer, the Fleshling is no more. Oh, it's tragic. What are plans for Class Compendium? Yeah, Class Compendium, in terms of like Giphy development, is on long-term pause until I clear up like some more pressing stuff, I guess, really, and until I figure out kind of what the long-term potential of it is. As a content platform, it's it's interesting, but it's complicated in that, if you wanted to use Class Compendium in your D&D game, you kind of have to transform how you play D&D, right? Which for a lot of people is a no-go. The fact that classes don't go up to 20 is just a flat-out just dismissal from people, really. Because they're really attached to that level 20, even if they're never going to get there. So... Class Compendium, I've spoken about, might transform in the future, where when I come back to it, it may end up being revised into class variants to augment 5e raw classes, right? Where it's like, hey, we could kind of, shift stuff into that. Hey, if you want to be a wizard, these are the new spellbook rules, and you could use those in any D&D campaign. If you want, like, 5e Battlemaster stuff, then, hey, you have this, and it translates, and you can just plug it onto your character. Those kind of, like, little changes, right? But, Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the future for Class Compendium is. It was very important for me to kind of get that vision done and out there and compiled and play testable. But it is the hardest sell. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, like part of the reason that people may kind of find it difficult to get into, right, is it's a supplement. With Foundry, we could have those as compendium content, right? Which means you could run a game straight away with them already kind of plugged in because the class content would be there. So I don't know. Foundry's a very interesting platform. In Foundry, I think that's better for discoverability because that's the hot new thing. Yeah, it's always like as a developer, I'm always what's the words cagey, just suspect basically about chasing the new hotness because you see this in development all the time, right? Especially when you work in JavaScript, which is hey, we're going to chase the new hot development fad, and it lasts for about 6 months until people like start chasing the new development fad, right? And then boom, boom, boom. So I'm hoping that Foundry's got like a longer kind of what's the word, tail, and is going to be, you know, the big thing. Seems like it's got a lot of potential. I think the main thing about making a sheet alternative to tidy is the control you get. Yeah, that is kind of, I do like to have full control over stuff. That is a bit of a thing. Yeah, it might be a case of just looking at how Tidy has done some things and emulating it. Or, yeah, forking it entirely. Like, the Features tab is nice, Effects is nice, Biography. I mean, in a lot of ways, if you kind of look at the breakdown of stuff, it's not actually that different to the Roll20 character sheet, right? If we just do these side by side... in terms of like the tabs, right? You know, we have attributes, which is like core, inventory, which is the equipment tab, spellbook, spells, features, there's a features tab, effects, that's kind of like a new thing, but biography and journal. They're not actually too dissimilar. I don't think people are just going to switch to a new thing just because it's new. Porting new content is just too much of a pain for most DMs. Yeah, I mean, that's the hope anyway, right? I mean, what? I did the Roll20 character sheet, what, 2 years ago? And that's lasted pretty well. In fairness, for a character sheet that I haven't done any work on for, what, about 2 years? When was the last Roll20 character sheet update? When did I update that? Source codes. Oh, about a year ago. Okay, yeah, there we go. Show the reaction of my players to class compendium. We're all impressed what's there, but like most DD, it requires you not to use a lot of base 5e material. It's more feature rich than base, but more subclasses and stuff will make it more tempting. I think that's kind of like the problem with it, or like it's the thing that I underestimated the amount of time you need to sink in to make it more appealing. you know, trying to do basically a full class revision of 12 classes on my own was, I mean, there was a ridiculous idea, Giffy. What was I thinking? It was so stupid. It's like, oh hey, I'll just redesign and update 12 classes and 3 subclasses for each. No, come on, Giff. Are you a fool? I mean, yeah, like, thank God for, like, Lex and Mountain Dew and others kind of adding in archive content, but right, how are we at? I think the idea behind Foundry was to make something that was less quick and easy, it had more survivability. Yeah, I think you can kind of see that from their tech at the moment, which is it's a very flexible platform. You can do a lot with it, which is pretty insane. That's why I was kind of like, maybe I could just like turn Darker Dungeons into a system, because that's kind of what we've been talking about for a long time anyway. I mean, given enough time, I might be able to do both. CC 4.0, share, copy and redistribute. Oh, the tidy sheet, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd kind of assume that was the case. I'd like to run a mini campaign using class compendium. It's tough because I tend to chain year-long campaigns, which makes... Yeah, same. I find, like, I'm having a problem with that as well, because, you know, COVID, so I haven't run D&D for about a year now, which is a big problem. If we can get the creator of Tidy 5e. Yeah, if I could just like outsource Dark Dungeons development to just everyone else except me, that'd be great. Who wants to do all the work for me? Thank you. CC was the most Giffy designing a new system. I know, like, it was... I mean, I had to do it just because of the Darker Dungeons potential. So Darker Dungeons has the class changes chapter, which was like a patch fix for some issues. So class compendium was my chasing that rabbit hole, right? Sort of chasing the rabbit hole? Going down the rabbit hole? Whatever. Where I had to explore those ideas and just kind of like reach the end point or like the conclusion of what they would transform into. It's very possible that that content will feed back into Darker Dungeons. While I was doing 4.0, I was very tempted to do some of those like class feature tweaks and kind of extend it, but I need to just consider the larger ramifications of that. The class chapters page chapter, as well as some of the stuff that's in the feature changes chapter, they're kind of... some of them are not things that I'm 100% happy with now, but yeah, eventually I have to like stop tweaking, right? Also hard to get feedback and playtest without creating... Yeah, I know, right? Both would be a good alternative. You should talk about this with Crash Gem on your Geostream. Yes, so that's like a large part actually why I was kind of interested to talk about talk about this with Crash, because Crash uses the Monster Maker a lot. So there's some. I kind of want to get some of his insight on like how he uses the monsters in the way that he does, what tweaks we can kind of do to the Monster Maker, But in addition to that, it would be like, okay, so what would be necessary to do monsters quickly and easily in Foundry? Because I think there's a module in there that we could very easily do. 1, to support importing from the Monster Maker, and 2, to allow you to just create a Giphy monster straight in Foundry, straight away. Oh, we don't need the class feature changes from DD in the Foundry module. Support for the PDF. I don't see a reliable way to do it. No, me neither. I don't really know how that would work. I mean, conceivably, this would be a compendium module, right? Be an opt-in. So, yeah, this would where I assume you kind of choose class levels, right? So we would just copy the SRD class text, but make the D&D make the Darker Dungeons tweaks in as part of that compendium, right? So you wouldn't pick levels of the raw Warlock. You would pick the class levels from the Darker Dungeons Warlock and kind of pull them in that way. So that's an option, but it is, again, it's much further down the road. Crash Jam is the same guy who's active in the Odyssey of the Dragon Walls Discords. Yes. Yeah. Crash does like tons of like. I genuinely don't know how Crash finds the time to do life, because he's literally running D&D like every like minute of every day, as far as I'm concerned. Acock Spain, how's it going? I've also been running that campaign with Monster Maker for half a year. Hey, fantastic. Yeah, glad you enjoy it. I literally would not be able to run 5e without Monster Maker. I could speak about this at length, but 5e's encounter rules and monster making rules are just trash. Oh, correction, it's not that they're bad. Right, I think that the thing that offends me more is there's such a waste of DM time. It's phenomenal. The GM already has like tons of stuff to do. They should not have to go through hoops to worry about encounter balance. That's like rule 1 of making your game runnable. Can I imagine the possibilities of Giphy monsters in Foundry? Yeah, so I think that's... That's pretty sweet. Do I do this first? No. No. Or do I? Because if I did the Monster Maker stuff, that would be a separate module that would be easy. Wouldn't have to like worry about any dependencies. That could just like plug straight in to any game. It would be super easy to do. And then it would have like encounter module Fuck. Fuck's sake. I mean, yeah, Monster Maker is the most GIF used thing, because it's awesome. And I totally didn't just steal the whole concept from like 4E, right? I should try to be more engaged. I've just defaulted to running my home games. Oh, I mean, yeah, no worries about that, DJ. I mean, like, I have, I literally have my own Discord that I forget to pay attention to because I get so easily distracted with stuff. You know, it's like, I'm so bad at it. Real life stuff just, you know, gets in the way, right? Foundry makes me review all Giphy content for rethinking. Rethinking in what ways, Magic? Making me the auto QQ DG. Yeah, it's what I'm. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering. Because Dark Dungeons... I think this might be the right order, like, thinking about it. It's annoying because I know, like, I keep saying this about the character sheet, right? It's like, okay, no, I'm definitely going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it. Let me just do the side projects. I'll just do quick quests, right, to learn stuff. Oh, I'll just do Monster Maker, right? Okay, what's the next one going to be? But yeah, you do kind of have the dark sheet already. I mean, that is a point. You've already got enough stuff to just kind of like fudge it for a little bit. Whereas the Monster Maker stuff isn't in there at all. And it all runs on... Yeah, it all runs on JavaScript, which is like super, super easy to do. I'm going to have to do that. How much of your code could you just copy from Binder? Oh, so hang on. Let's just bring up some stuff. Instead of feeling that way, I think most of us are pretty impressed by how much work you push out. You've just taken on a lot, so it's just, I know there's so much. Like I mean I enjoy like doing all this work, right? It keeps me busy. But it's really annoying when like you look in the Discord, you know, because obviously like I pay attention to everything that like happens in the Discord. I just, you know, thinking of things to say is like a massive brain fog for me. But I think it was you, Lex, you mentioned Dyson Sphere program, was that? I just saw that pop up, and I've been wanting to play that for about 2 weeks now, so thanks for that. That's just been running in my head. I've been listening to the soundtrack because I watched a video and the soundtrack was really cool, and now I just want to play Dyson Sphere program, and I can't because I have to do my homework. Bollocks. Right, hang on, sorry, what was I at? So, the Monster Maker app, most of this I should just be able to lift or repurpose in a fairly, I hope, straightforward way into Foundry, because Foundry uses JavaScript, so all of the math that works behind the scene to generate the stats for the monsters should be pretty straightforward. Should be easy. Not easy, because again, I haven't like... I don't want to make too many promises, but It's certainly serviceable. It would be very serviceable. Because I've been like I in December and January I was looking into, and I'm still looking into, I need to do a whole site overhaul, put in user accounts for the Monster Maker and all of that jazz. But that's going to take a while, right? But so if the Foundry stuff can work and can work quickly, we might have a winner. We might have a very big winner. Because then you could just edit it in the game, you could level it up. And then I could just do the changes that I've been wanting to do into this. Oh, this could be good, this could be good, this could be good. Okay, so... sorry, where am I at? That kind of game goes straight to the addiction, same Factorio. Yeah, how does it? How do you find it comparing to Factorio links, Lex? I was wondering, as a Hexblade Warlock, can I make it a Fox Spirit? What monster class can I do to add to the flavour? What you mean? Instead of bonding to a sword, you bond to a Fox Spirit? Then you don't need to update it on the website. No, so I think there's... I'd still need to do that on the website because... you know, there are a lot of people who don't and won't be using Foundry. And something that I would like to do on the website is to allow people to easily share monsters, right? Or to create compendiums of content, etc., etc., so they could easily share them with other people. So there's a lot of stuff that would need to be done to the website. But if the Foundry stuff can happen quick, then that's going to be really useful. That's going to be really transformative. If the fox doesn't turn into a lance, then I learn nothing from 90s children's. Wait, which children's show was that? You could call it game changing. The weapon is a fox spirit, and what can I monster class to add the flavour like ranger to get a fox pet? Oh, interesting. I mean, yeah, conceivably, yeah, like going ranger to go like beastmaster, right, and then you kind of have your fox spirit that also act. No, actually, no, that wouldn't work because your spirit would be the sword. Okay, let's have a think. Wanted the weapon to be like a spirit fox while not in combat. Oh, I mean, in that case, like, I mean... Find familiar spell. Wizards. Find familiar. Who gets to cast Find Familiar? Yeah, so I'd say, I mean, yeah, Pact of the Chain, like, it works in one way because you get to always cast, like, Find Familiar, right? So you have your Fox Spirit. But if you want the weapon, specifically, then Find Familiar, or getting the Find Familiar spell through another route, i.e. like taking a level in Wizard, is probably the right route for that. Find Familiar. Or alternatively, you could just like if you just spoke to your GM, that is something that, like, if a character, if a player came to me with that kind of concept, I'd probably just give them an item that's like an amulet that lets them cast Find Familiar in this specific way, so that way they can have the ability. Because that's basically what it is, right? It's just Find Familiar. Needs workshopping. No, I think it's fine. Like I say, find Familiar is the thing here, right? You know, you're just talking about, okay, it's spirits and it's a sword, and it flips between those two things, right? So you can turn your familiar into your hexblade, and then you spend an hour to return the sword into your spirit fox. But you do that through this Find Familiar ritual. And that way you don't have to, like, kind of worry about multi-classing. You just have, you know, you've got the toolset here. But yeah, so hang on, so if we just have a quick look. Oh, is this Nier? Nier is another game I haven't played and I haven't really watched, but I've listened to the soundtrack so many fucking times. It's such a good soundtrack. So I think if we went down the Monster Maker route, or like the Giphy Monster Maker route in Foundry, what we're talking about here is you would create a new actor, right? And it would be a new type. It is a Giphy monster, or a Giffyglyph monster. And then it would have its character sheet here that would be like this one. And you could just update it. You could just update it live on that character sheet. And then you'd be able to save it here. And then you could create like an encounter. And you could just drag monsters into that, right? Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. I'm interested. I'm hooked. I think on top of that card you should add would be inventory for loots. Yep, for Monster Mate, yep, that would make perfect sense. You could just add items onto their inventory, right? They would just have a character inventory. because then the other great thing is, so something that I was thinking about with for Monster Maker, right, or one of the things that I was going to implement when I was doing my previous batch of tweaks in December, January, but didn't get to finish, and then distractions, blah blah blah. At the moment, right, you can level up a Monster Maker monster on the fly, right? Here we go, boom, 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 level 6, level 10, whatever, right? You can go as high as you want. And it updates all of the numbers, right? Especially like the attacks and the knockbacks and whatever, right? It does all that on the fly for you. So now, like, you can add traits and you can add actions and all this kind of stuff, right? Slash, add an action, big major killer attack, do a super cool thing that hits everyone for 1,000,000 HP. So at the moment you can add like actions and traits and all of this stuff to your monster, right? And then there it is, whatever. But what I wanted to do was to add an option to gate these to certain levels, right? It's like, so that way you could scale them even easier. Perhaps you want like, okay, we've got like a level 20 monster, here we go. And this big major killer attack, I only want that if the monster is at least level 17. So now I'd be able to mark that as like 17 and up. And then if I just drop the level, it would be hidden, right? It wouldn't show up on the character tab. So I could just kind of do that in Foundry. I could do a lot of this in Foundry. And it also means, hey, all of these traits and things that, you have to like type out by hand or add using the whatever, this would be the compendiums, right? So you could just drag them onto the monster. So just make all your MM monsters at 20 as a base. No. So it would just be like, oh, okay. Let's say I'm making a monster for an encounter, a 5th level monster, whatever. But if I wanted to like make this open for other people to use, right? So how do I describe it? So this is something that Crash was talking about on his stream that I noticed, which was, hey, we want to create like a compendium of content, right? But what level should these monsters be at, right? And then like, how does the level 20 kobold differ from like the level 15 kobold and all of this stuff, right? So that way you could just have one kobold, but then the content is like flexibly hidden based on what level it is, if that makes sense. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got it, Lex. One thing that would be cool would be developing a big list database of 4E monster abilities with monster type tags. Yeah, so that... Yeah, if we do like a Monster Maker module for Foundry, that kind of compendium stuff shakes out pretty nicely, right? Oh, hey Behemoth, how's it going? I'm living in Spain. Oh wait, where are we at? Ooh, no, you're fine. You've got like 15 whole minutes here, Behemoth. Imagine that. Okay, this is good. This is coughs in. Yeah. Well, so what I'm thinking of, like in terms of its compendium in the Foundry sense, right? Which is like, oh, okay, we now have all this content that we can bundle up, so people can just download into Foundry straight away. And that could be like the monster building blocks or a list of monsters. There's a lot of potential here. See, something I'm having to juggle at the moment is... yeah, fucking Bastion. Fucking love it. It's so good. Or something I have to be mindful of, and I do have to be careful with, right, is juggling, is splitting my time, right, between writing and coding. Because at the moment, you know, I write a thing, you know, Darker Dungeons or whatever, or Monster Maker, but then I also have to do this kind of like secondary stream of work to code the thing and like make it work online. So eventually I'm going to have to like switch back to writing mode, but we'll find some time to kind of make that happen. On screen, this brainstorming discussion is making me... That's what a Giphy stream's all about, right? Making you scream with joy? Yeah, there we go. But yeah, no, this is good. There's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of opportunity. God damn it, Foundry, you're so good. It's like it's a very good thing I didn't start looking at Foundry before I finished Darker Dungeons 4, because otherwise I wouldn't have finished that. I would have just done Foundry. But yeah, so Monster Maker after Quick Quest confirmed. So for recap, Quick Quest will get done, Crash Gift Stream, then Monster Maker, then Class Compendium, then DD Sheet. Oh, I see you sneaking in Class Compendium there, definitely. No, so Quick Quest is going to get done first. Crash I might chat to on Tuesday. I think Crash is around on Tuesdays, he said, but I need to pay attention to that because I haven't paid any attention whatsoever. So then Monster Maker I'll work on after Quick Quest is version 1 and done and out. Then the Darker Dungeons sheet, unless a writing kind of project pops up in between, because there might be some updates or tweaks I need to make to one of the books, or at least just to remind people that they exist, right? It's kind of like an important part of why I have to write, right? It's like, oh, no, hang on, Darker Dungeons does exist, guys, like, remember it. Oh, Monster Maker does exist, remember it, that kind of thing. Mustang at Giffy. Oh, fuck's sake, I forgot VODs. Alright, let me do this tonight. There's always tons of stuff I forget. It's ridiculous. I mean, what are you talking about? I'm great at remembering to do all the things that I said I was going to do. Trello, fuck's sake. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just, you know. I deliberately forget these things just so people can just tell me off. That's what I love about it. Trello was supposed to keep you organised, Giff. Yeah. Well, so this is the problem with me, and I'm going to blame it on ADD. Right? Is I'm really good at setting up that kind of stuff. I'm very bad at maintaining that stuff because maintaining stuff is boring, and I don't want to do it. So yeah, no, I'm blaming that on ADD. That's my excuse. It's definitely not because I'm a lazy, forgetful piece of shit. It's definitely not. It's definitely the ADD. Definitely. Let's do the first one on stream. I can't even remember, like, I can't even remember, like, how to fucking vault stuff. Hey, Shreddy, how's it going? I felt that one. Because, yeah, you pointed that out, like, last stream, didn't you? And then I was like, no, I'm definitely going to do it. And then, you know, Foundry happened, and that's all I've been doing for the week. Because it's so cool. I love Foundry. Getting my diagnosis was the best thing ever, because now I can at least pretend. See, that's my fear, right? Is so I've got my referral still in process, right? It's going to take me at least another 3-4 months, maybe, if I'm lucky, to get an appointment to see someone about this. But what if it turns out that I am just a lazy fucking piece of shit? It's like, oh no, now I'm gonna have to like find something else to blame all this on. I can't accept that responsibility. All feel good. You've done a ton of the stuff on there. I know, pretty well. Giff needs a PA. I really do. Like, I need a PA to do all the boring bits of life, please. See, that's basic. Like, if I won the lottery, yeah, I would just hire someone to do all the boring bits of life for me. It's like, okay, no, just I don't want to do any of that stuff. I just want to sit in the front of the computer and I want to just work and like play video games occasionally. And I need you to just do all the boring stuff, like, you know, shopping and organizing my Trello and it's just all that stuff, right? You just do all that. So yeah, there we go. Once I win the lottery, that's it. That's gonna be my dream. It's like what a fucking child. I could update Trello, but no, I just want to do all the fun Foundry stuff. No, just ridiculous. What if I could? I mean, it's a full-time job. Like, there's so much to unpick. So, how can it possibly be boring, Lex? You've got Dyson Sphere. What am I missing? Alright, 10 to 12. Alright, okay, hang on, let's have a think. Alright, we're coming up to about midnight. Is there anything we want to just kind of like get in before I think about winding stuff down? Quiet with the logic. Wait, what's Loop Hero? Ooh, let's have a look at you, shall we? I have the same problem. I became a lawyer because I love law. My days are not filled with law. They're filled with... Yeah. This is the worst bit. It's like, look, I just want to do the fun bits. Can I just do the fun bits? I'm speaking about this, and I will always speak about this on the stream. It's something like I vastly underestimated when I started writing Darker Dungeons. You know, like just the incremental. What's the word? Just the management of it all now. It's like, okay, cool. So I'm just going to write a thing and release it on Reddit. Oh, cool. Okay, people enjoy it. I'll just update it a little bit and just maintain it. Cool. All right, I'm just going to go and do that. Cool. Oh, wait, I'm just going to write another book. Cool. Okay, I'll just do that. Or maybe I'll open a Discord because a bunch of people are like talking about it. Oh, I'll open up the Patreon because people are asking for it. Oh, wait, but I need to update that and I need to maintain that. And how does Discord work? I'm also going to start streaming because... I want to be more comfortable on camera anyway, and it's probably a useful place for people to just like chat about Darker Dungeons. Cool. Okay, but I'm going to do that once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. Oh, I'll just write Class Compendium. Oh, I'll just do a Monster Maker app. So it's just all these little things that need to be maintained, right? It's, and I'm great at maintaining stuff. Yeah, exactly. I just need to figure out the VOD process. I mean, it should be pretty straightforward for our VODs anyway, because there isn't anything complicated to do with them. It literally is just I need to sit down and do it. You could automate it almost. Oh yeah, I mean it's not like it's not a complicated process. It's a boring chunk of time, right? Where it's like, okay, I need to sit down and basically spend a day or two uploading historic VODs and then cutting them to make sure they don't have like the load-in time or anything like that I might not want to be on stream forever kind of thing. So it's just like those little time sinks, but most law firms in my city require us to print every email we send and receive and put it. Fuck off, really? That's ridiculous. Sorry, every email you receive as well? Are you shitting me? All right, everyone. We're just gonna like spam ZGH's email address. Yeah, just sign him up for every spam. Right? I think that's what we're just gonna do. That's crazy. How much you must fucking... That must suck up so much of your time. Yeah, I do not envy. It's unbelievably wasteful. Yeah, I fucking don't know. Like, how long do you have to keep them forever, or is there a sort of junk period? $10 years. Fuck. That's crazy. From the date a file is closed. Oh, is that because of like GDPR? Oh, well, I mean, in fairness, I don't really know like where your law is, but what was that? I think that was 10 years afterwards now, right? We had to do like tons of changes at my workplace for like the GDPR changes that came in, what, 2 years ago here? Something about that. Ah, okay. All right, yeah, cool. God, I really need to get like a new Giphy mask, right? It's been Hades for, what, 3 months now? I'll make that a new monthly tradition. I won't. I'll totally forget to do it. Definitely gonna forget to do it. Do a Dyson. Yeah, we'll just put it. I'll tell you. I'll put it on the Trello. Right? Yeah, there it is. Yeah. It's like, yeah. Look, I'm definitely looking into it. Definitely got it going on. It's alright, what is it? I can't, like, how is it March already as well? How have 2 months gone by? Alright, it's fine. March is going to be Foundry month. March is Foundry VOD month. Yeah? Is that it? Yeah, we'll term it that. Okay, March is Foundry VOD. Foundry has you excited, which is... It does. Foundry is, I mean, it's I'm kind of interested and excited by it, and it's gonna be pretty cool. I just like, being able to like do character sheets, it's like being able to do item cards. You could do like Magic the Gathering cards in this, which would be pretty fucking sweet. The only thing I'm not sure about yet is like how to make the images kind of work properly, but it's a rough. Time I am speed. It's shocking. You know, I've been working from home now for a full year basically. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. I don't know what time is anymore. Like, I don't want to go back to the office, but I'm also kind of, I mean, that's going to break my brain, like having to go outside again on a regular basis. No. How is the hair going to survive that? March isn't anything until you put it on the... Fuck. Actually, no, I mean, yeah, actually, Trello's going to look really good when I put the Foundry stuff on there, right? Okay, yeah, alright, you got a point. You got a point. Maybe that might be a good way to do it. It's just like, okay, it's stuff for it's March. I can do it by March. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, okay. Haven't sent my info. Magic the Gathering has its own online game. Oh, sorry, I mean in terms of... you could use their kind of like art, right, to create item cards in this kind of fashion. Not so much about like playing Magic the Gathering, but just using it in games, right, or just as a what's the word? A visual kind of framing. But yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, we'll see how it works. Let's just say Flash. I'll put the Trello in Crash's 7th thing. Oh, god damn it. Oh wait, I think I still need to join Crash's. I think Crash sent me a link, and I haven't done it yet. Because of course I haven't. Right. Item cards is something I don't know how to do it yet. Do them well in what way, Magic? You mean create them, or just how to use them in a game? You probably do like different sized ones as well. I mean, is this too big for an item profile? No, it's probably fine, right? Nah, it's probably fine. It's a quick quest, it's fine. It's a demo, right? We'll figure it out. The whole server will hound you. I love being like, love being hounded. Do you just link an image to to the Foundry sheet. What did you do? How do you... Well, you mean to make this? Oh, this is using a whole kind of layout template. So you can just like, I mean, I think Foundry has like a bunch of built-in images, right? I'm just using those. I haven't done anything with images or whatever. But all of this is done just using HTML and CSS. I don't have any images for these. Anyway, that gets us up to midnight, so I'm going to go, because now I'm going to be thinking about Monster Maker all night. Yay! Okay, so... Interesting. So I'm not quite sure what my streaming schedule is going to be in March. It's been kind of nice having actually like the 2 extra days a week has been wildly like I forget how much time streaming kind of sucks up during the week. So it's possible I might just kind of keep it on Sundays. But I do miss streaming, so it's interesting. There might be a Tuesday one where I'm talking to Crash, but I'll chat in the Discord if that's gonna like and ah. Yeah, I might okay, officially Sunday is going to be the stream night for March. There may be periodic ones that kind of pop up as and when I kind of want to show something off or just hang out. And we'll see how that kind of goes. Just because getting stuff done is kind of good. Anyway, I'm going to go because I can. And I will. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Lovely to chat as always. Super fun. Hope you enjoy Quick Quest when it comes out, hopefully this week. And the Monster Maker module, and the VODs, and the Trello updates, and all of the really cool stuff that I definitely said I was going to do in February and definitely did not do. For mental health, I think Tuesday should be your DSP stream day. Reddit posts, yep, there we go. Literally, completely, 100% forgot about that. So, thanks for the reminder again. I mean, I'm going to forget in 10 minutes, but thanks. Oh, Dyson Sphere. That could be pretty good. Yeah, I'll kind of see. I mean, I have to make some time to play a video game, because all I'm doing is just looking at Foundry. Oh my god, might be okay. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna go. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Lovely to chat as always. Oh wait, it's Sunday, right? So oh fuck, I'm way out of date. I did not update this. So this might be out of date, but sorry. Huge thank you, as always, to all of my super kind subscribers and patrons and coffee donations and everything in between. Hopefully you have enjoyed all of the content so far. I mean, otherwise, why are you donating? And you're going to enjoy everything that's coming up, namely all the Foundry work that's going to be this month. So, yeah, huge thank you, everyone. It's really appreciated. In particular, my super kind Prime Sigils, Adivice Draga, Anthony von Bose, Alexander von Bose, Anthony Kampler, Barkstone, Bird Marrows, Dario Hachik, Dorsivan, Fallon Twinbear, George, Hoots Kenku, John Patrick Callahan Jr., Mickey Minaj, Michael Thomas, Crossic Fawn, Strider, and Tristan Bassinet. Your contributions are super appreciated. It's really generous of you. Yeah, hopefully I'll keep creating work that is deserving of that contribution. So yeah, thanks very much everyone. Had a lovely time, some really good ideas, Now I'm just going to be thinking about Monster Maker, and that's going to be my week. So catch you all again soon. Have a lovely week, and good night, everyone. Bye.